Hello everyone, once again welcome back to my channel. My name is Amir Poonawala from G.E.M.S International. I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand and migration agent for Australia. Our office is based in Auckland City of New Zealand. Yes, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please click the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you can get regular updates about various immigration issues and how to apply for different visas. Thank you. Okay, before we start our today's video, I would like to read out our legal disclaimer for this video, which is as follows. This video has been made for general knowledge and information sharing purpose, sourced from publicly available information, and does not in any way constitute as an immigration advice from my side. The owner of this video, that is myself, is not liable in any way whatsoever for the information provided in this video. The immigration policies, procedures, fees, legislation, and other statutory requirements may change at any time, and we have no control or influence over this. And the content of this video may become irrelevant or obsolete. Please exercise due diligence before taking any steps with regards to your immigration matter and or visa application, and preferably avail professional help and advice for each of your unique situation if you wish. You agree to and understand this before watching this video. Thank you. Due to the enormous number of calls that we receive, I realize that I am required to repeat the same information again and again and again to hundreds of people. And that is what made me start making these videos so that I don't have to repeat the same information again and again. Someone somewhere in any corner of the world could just click this video and get an idea of the whole process in general. So we have been busy preparing scripts for a number of videos that I'm going to publish on YouTube on various immigration topics and visas. As always, I make some bullet points to ensure that I have covered the most important aspects, or I have enlightened you with those critical areas which are absolutely crucial for the success of your visa application. Okay, in this video, we will discuss about how to make a permanent residence application under the Skilled Migrant Category for New Zealand. And this has been a burning topic on the minds of thousands of people who are keen to migrate and relocate to this part of the world. Again, without little to no knowledge of what the process involved is or what are the pitfalls in the process. And almost half of the time we are contacted when the damage has already been done to their application in the form of either they have received a refusal letter or a complicated letter from the respective immigration department highlighting several aspects or shortfalls in their application. This is when generally people get in touch with us to seek professional help. My sincere advice to you is you avail professional help right from the very beginning to avoid all such complicated scenarios that may pop up down the line with your application. Also, I would like to remind again and again to all our viewers and prospective visa applicants that making a visa application is not all about filling forms. There is a technical aspect to most visa categories which you must be fully aware of. And you should also be aware that you are meeting the various requirements and conditions of that visa category. Then and then only you should submit your visa application. And this whole process must be done right first time. Otherwise, you will end up losing time and money, and you may have to go through the process all over again. What I mean by that is the all the technical aspects involved in any application is not so common. It is not such common knowledge that everybody can understand and organize it. So this is where G.E.M.S International comes to your rescue. We assist you in preparing these applications in the right manner, in the first attempt, and we not only prepare and submit your applications, but we also continue to liaise with the respective immigration department till the finalization of your application. And we also keep you updated from stage by stage. Whenever there is an update, we keep you updated and in the loop so that you are fully aware of what is happening at every stage with your application. However, again, you must always remember that there is no such thing as uh, getting a visa approval 100%. Nobody can guarantee you this 100% visa approval uh, purely because the decision making process is solely in the hands of the concerned immigration authority or department, and we have absolutely no control or influence over it. Also, you must remember one very typical thing that I come across in the minds of people who are overseas, that there is no such thing as buying a visa. People say, okay, how can we buy this visa? How can we get this visa? It's like an indirect question. There is no such thing as buying a visa. It is not a pizza that you are ordering or a product or a commodity. There is a very stringent process in place for application, and every aspect of the application has to be as per the requirement. Then and then only you can see success at the end of the tunnel. So please bear that in mind. And like I have always said, that we will always utilize our professional skills, our knowledge, our vast experience in this area in order to achieve a successful outcome for your visa application. This is what we are here for basically. And we really appreciate that you contact us and understand the process in depth and remain fully aware of the whole process till the end. Thank you for your understanding. In our today's video, we will have a general discussion about how to apply for permanent residence in New Zealand under the skilled migrant category. New Zealand, as you must be already aware, is one of the most sought after destinations to live, work, and settle down amongst all other top destinations around the world, like Canada, Australia, and many other parts of the world. Um, New Zealand has an influx of thousands of migrants every year who come to settle down and start a new chapter of their fresh new life. And as you can imagine, comes with it the bonus of enjoying the Kiwi lifestyle, a pollution free environment, stunning New Zealand beauty, and all the best New Zealand New Zealand's nature has to offer you. And all this plus much more that you will enjoy when you are physically here in New Zealand. Due to the ongoing enhancements being made to the immigration's online systems, currently you can apply for your residence in a mixed fashion. What I mean by that is it's a mix of both paper and online applications. I will come to it a little later in this video as we go ahead, and that picture will be clear to you as to which portion of the application um, will go on paper and which will go online. So obviously our preferred mode of submitting all your applications is through the online mode. If this is the first time you are applying for a New Zealand visa, I'm sure you will come across a bunch of unauthorized agents in your hometown, your city where you live, who will try to get this thing sorted for you. But trust me, you must make yourself aware of the risks involved in dealing with such unauthorized agents. I mean, uh, you will probably have no idea the amount of damage it could do to your application down the line if something goes wrong and God forbid you end up receiving with a refusal letter in your hand. There could be various implications. So I sincerely recommend that you don't lodge your residence visa applications through unauthorized agents in the wake of saving a few $1,000s, you know. And many a times it has happened that such unauthorized agents may submit some fraudulent documentation along with your application without your knowledge. And trust me, this is nothing short of a big blunder to do when making any visa application. So, like I said, um, stay away from the unauthorized agents. They have very little knowledge about this region, obviously, due to the fact that they are operating from your home country. They have very little knowledge about the market here, the job market, the economy, and they may not be even aware of the whole uh, process as such. You know, they could just have half knowledge of the process or incomplete knowledge rather. And as you can understand that if you have incomplete knowledge about any subject, it is always dangerous. You see. So I suggest you always take expert help with your visa application. Okay, so let's get down to the flowchart of the steps one must take to apply for a permanent residence visa or a resident visa in the first place for New Zealand. Step one is quite obvious that you must know, or rather, you should know whether you are eligible to even start the process, or you can't simply start the residence visa application process without knowing where you stand. And how can you find this? Is the obvious question that comes to every person's mind. It is quite simple. You must get a formal assessment done for yourself from a licensed immigration advisor, preferably, and find out if you are eligible to apply for residence in New Zealand or not. We have seen from experience that many people take the help of, or rather, I would say, do the mistake of taking the help from friends and family members, and online they go here and there and try to do their own assessment. And you must remember that this is a very, very crucial step, in the sense that if you want to be 100% sure, you must take professional help to find out your eligibility with regards to knowing whether you are eligible or not eligible for permanent residence under the skilled migrant category. This will save you a lot of time, effort, and money that could go waste down the drain if you take help from unauthorized people. Okay, so let's say, for example, we do a formal assessment for you and find out that you are eligible to apply for residence in New Zealand. Hooray! Yes. And then comes the next step, to start arranging all the supporting documents required for um, your next step, which is making the expression of interest. And for this, we provide you a customized checklist of documents which you must start arranging in order to submit your expression of interest to the immigration department. Now, again, due to the exhaustive nature of this list of documents, I will not be going through all those documents in this video, because I could end up spending hours explaining this. But you are welcome to call us and find this out in depth, and we will be happy to tell you in detail each and every document that is required in this process. Okay, another thing I would like to point out is that an EOI application can be made either on a paper-based application or through the online channel. I would like to strongly recommend that you always make an EOI application online, as it is quite efficient and easy to submit it online. Once the expression of interest application is submitted online or through paper mode, it goes into a pool of thousands of other EOIs that have been received from many other applicants like you from around the world. And then in the weeks following the submission, the selection process starts. Basically, when it comes to EOIs, you must remember that you will require a minimum of 100 points to be even eligible to submit an EOI application. And it is better to have more points, obviously, but when you have points anywhere between 100 to 155, your EOI remains in the pool for selection. And This selection process is more or less like a lucky draw, and it will also depend on various other factors like um, your profession or the skills that you have and the skills that New Zealand requires at the time of selection. On the other hand, let's say if your points tally is 160 points. Now, this is a great thing. If your points are 160, uh, your EOI gets automatically selected from the pool. So please bear that in mind. I will consider you very lucky if you are able to reach the 160 points mark. Um, well done, I would say that you could make it to this level. But remember, this is just the beginning. It is just half the battle won. Okay, let's say, for example, your UI is submitted and depending on the points you have claimed, it gets selected. After selection, it will go through a rigorous process of checking all the facts and figures you have mentioned in your UI application. Basically, to figure out whether your claim of points is indeed correct or not. This is where many people make silly mistakes uh, in their points calculation by giving themselves more points without understanding or knowing the technicality of claiming the points, and unfortunately they could end up getting their UI applications returned or refused. But obviously the fees that you pay are not refunded uh, by the immigration department since they have done their job, they have done their exercise of reviewing and assessing your EUI application. So expecting your EUI application fees to be refunded in case of a refusal uh, is not a practical way, it's not possible. Okay, so please bear that in mind. So this is where our technical expertise comes to your rescue, to your advantage, and you can rely on the points calculation that we will do for you. And we assure you that our calculation will remain and stay with you till the final processing of your application. Also, I would like to touch on a relevant topic here is that the another important thing in this whole process is having peace of mind. I mean, from experience, I can tell you that many people who try to do these applications on their own end up having sleepless nights and endless thoughts of what will happen, whether they have done it right or wrong. It's a mystery for them, because of incomplete knowledge, like I mentioned earlier. And all this could make you very anxious and worried and could take a drastic toll on your health. And I would like to sincerely recommend that you avoid all this. Um, and when you have uh, given us the opportunity to handle your application, we can assure you that you will have peace of mind throughout the process because the responsibility of your application will be on our shoulders. Okay. Okay. So once your EOI has been selected by the respective immigration department, the next thing that will happen is that you will receive an invitation letter to apply for residence. And trust me, we are still in the very beginning stages of your application journey here. And again, once you receive your invitation to apply, also known as ITA, you will have officially 4 months on hand to sort out all the required documentation that is required to go along with your residence application. And I will highly recommend that you start early as soon as you receive this letter. A very critical thing to remember here is that if you are unable to provide us all the required documents in this 4 months time frame, the 4 months time frame, please remember, is the official time frame. But that does not mean that you come to our office after 3 months and 28 days. I mean, we also need time to review all these documents. We also need time to prepare your residence application. We also need time to write a residence application submission and then compile the whole thing. And we need time to send the courier. And again, the courier will take another 2, 3, 4 days to reach the office. And then the documentation department may take another couple of days or more to open your courier. So you must try and provide us all the required documents ASAP and not wait till the last minute. So let's say for whatever reasons you have not been able to provide us the required documents in these 4 months. What this would mean is that the ITA would lapse, and then you will have to start the whole process all over again, and the cost involved all over again you will have to incur, and then again go through the process of submitting another EOI. So in order to avoid this, you will have to provide us all the required documents within this 4 months time frame, well within rather. Okay. So let's say with our guidance and support, you have managed to collect all the required documents and provide us, and then we prepare our submission and submit your residence application. Once this is done, you must allow a good 6 to 18 months for processing your residence application. And now again, due to the COVID-19 crisis, the immigration department is experiencing a huge volume of different applications, and there seems to be an ongoing delay in allocating officers to your application, and it could take um, even more than 18 months to process your application. So please bear that in mind. Now your application has been submitted, okay, and you carry on with your daily life, your routine as usual. But you must always remember that if there is any change in your circumstances, I will give you a couple of examples of change in your circumstances. One could be that you no longer have the job on the basis of which you had made the residence application. So that is one major change in your circumstances. The other change could be that your relationship status has changed. You are no longer in the same relationship that you had originally declared in your residence application, or you had originally claimed some points on the basis of that relationship. So, due to this change in relationship, your um, eligibility for residence could change. Okay, um, so it is very, very critical that you inform us of any change in your circumstances. If you are not sure whether to inform us or not, I would still recommend that you call us and let us know what has happened, and we will tell you whether this change may impact your application or not. Now, what happens in these 6 to 18 months time frame? The immigration department carries out an in-depth verification of your credentials and all the supporting documents that you have provided with your application. And this is a very thorough uh, checking of your documents. So you must ensure that whatever documents you have submitted are genuine documents, uh, and at any cost you should not submit any fraudulent, any fake paperwork with your application. I mean, if you do so without our knowledge, then we are absolutely not responsible for this act of yours. Please bear that in mind. And in this verification process, it will also include verifying your employer's credentials, in the sense the documents you have submitted with regards to your employer, uh, their organization structure, what is the standing of your employer in New Zealand, whether they were blacklisted or not, whether they have breached any employment related laws, or and there is a whole lot. I mean, I could just go on and on. Uh, but yes, they will be checking your employment related documents, and they could also ask further information from your employer, and they could also call them, they could also visit their premises, and they will be sending a whole bunch of questions to verify further, to make sure that the claims that your employer has made uh, in your application are indeed correct. And also, you must remember that uh, just like your employer, you may also receive a telephonic interview call from the concerned immigration department. But yes, you don't have to worry about it, because as a matter of fact, with all our clients, we uh, we will guide you and train you uh, to help you understand how this interview takes place, and what are the likely questions that may be asked during this interview. But remember, uh, this training is just to give you an idea or the confidence required to face such an interview call. But your case officer can literally ask you any relevant question with regards to your application. So you must be able to confidently and truthfully answer all those questions. But we will guide you, and we will make sure that your level of confidence is good enough. We may even conduct, uh, if required, a couple of mock interviews to understand how you are responding, and to bring you up to the mark, where we feel that you are now confident enough to take such an interview call. So that is what we will take care of when you are with us. Last but not least, you must also meet the health and character requirements of this category, uh, which are prevailing at the time you lodge your application. And yes, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and discuss different areas with regards to a skilled migrant category application. And I could probably end up making this video for a full 3 4 hours. So I have to cut this video short because it could just become very very lengthy. Um, and let's say you have met all the requirements of the skilled migrant category, for example, and your application has been processed, and finally your residence visa gets approved. Wow, finally, I mean, trust me, the day you receive your residence visa is a big moment of relief. Uh, and yes, you can then start packing your bags and take your next flight to your dream destination, that is New Zealand. If you are overseas or if you are already here, I'm sure you are already enjoying the New Zealand lifestyle. Okay, so I'm sure I have covered quite a bit of what is involved in making a residence application under the skilled migrant category. I'm sure you will still have some more questions where you need further guidance or clarification. You are welcome to call us and book a consultation to find out the process involved. But please remember that all the services that we offer are paid services, right from the very first consultation to assessments and reassessments if required. Initially, we could do a preliminary assessment, then a final assessment, and then making the EOI application and the residence application. And there is a lot of cost and fees involved in this whole process. So please bear that in mind when you contact us. Uh, this will save your time and this will save our time as well. And like I have always pointed out in all my videos, that due to the tricky and complex nature of various visa applications, we highly recommend that you take expert help from a licensed immigration advisor to lodge your residence application for New Zealand. And at GEMS International, we not only provide you professional help but expert advice, and you can reach us round the clock or send us a text message on our WhatsApp mobile number 00642217860007, and we will be glad to book a consultation for you at a time convenient to you. Right. We also arrange and organize visas for various other countries, but again, due to the lengthy list of such visas, uh, we suggest you that you get in touch with us with your visa requirement, and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch our video. I am sure you must have found this information useful, and yes, we will come back with another interesting, informative video on how to apply for various other visas. And yes, the only way to know when that next video is coming is by clicking the subscribe button and pressing the bell icon. So you can get regular updates. Until then, goodbye, stay safe, see you next time.